Okay, so today uh, we are going to have a session with Arcturus, and he is coming on and opening himself up so that you as the viewer, as the listener, can get a sense of what it's like to do a session with the energy healing, with intuitive guidance, with leaning into the heart and opening ourselves to clearing out any blocks. Um, he and I spoke a little bit before this, so I'm going to let him share uh, now about sort of the focus that we're going to work with today in his life, um, and I'm really enthused about it because it does take great vulnerability and willingness to put yourself out there for others to benefit from. Like, there really is that, but it doesn't. That's aside from the point. The point is we're here for you today, fully. So tell us about a little bit about what you'd like to discover and work with in our session.
Thank you, Andrea. It is vulnerable, and I'll look for the best way to let it come out of me to describe what I've experienced in the past in intimate relationships has been a repeated pattern of excitement, love, oxytocin at the beginning, and it quickly fades to go away, and the sex does end up dying, and it gets shorter and shorter. I've dove in a little bit into it to go back into it with the root cause of it, not quite at the root, but know that my adopted mother did put a lot of shame attached to the act and a lot of fear that she would, when my first experience was in the basement with her being a home. So there was a fear that she could walk in at any moment, um, which may have contributed to wanting it to be done quick. I know there's a lot more attached to it that I've discovered. So my hope is to let go of this, um, because I don't need to carry around the shame, the fear that goes into this, because my desire is to be an amazing partner, a great lover, to be there for them as opposed to be running away from them because of the fear, because that does not serve anyone.
Yeah, yeah. So let's take a moment. I want to invite you to really let's settle in where we are. Come into the room, connect to the body. If you're able to, put your feet on the floor or imagine them on the floor. Really connect your seat to what you're sitting on, right? Really showing up fully in the body. And just gently do a scan. Let's start from the very bottom, the base, from the feet, and just gently scanning all the way up to the crown, all the way up, noticing where it's heavy, where it's dense, where it's sharp or dull.
Mid back.
Mid back. Okay. Mid back.
Yeah, pretty much right behind my solar plexus, all the way across.
Yeah. Okay. Does it feel like it's in the spinal area or off to the sides?
It feels like I'm leaning up against a uncomfortable bar.
Okay.
So all the way across, more on the right side.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is start to work with some energy. Before we do that, really taking a moment to invite in uh, your highest aspect to work with us, to release this. Through the process, whatever is needed, that I am shown, that you are shown exactly what we need to do today. To this is just, it's a blocked energy. And so we can let go of, and that's easy to say, I recognize, but we can let go of the sense of judgment around any of this, and just for a moment work with it just as blocked energy, just energy that got trapped at one moment in time, and it's stayed there. So I'm gonna work now. And if it moves, I want you to let me know where it moves to.
It's staying there. It's localizing on the right side and like spinning around in a circle. To me, facing forward, that would be clockwise.
Hmm.
Now it feels like it has resistance wanting to move up and right, but something is holding it there.
When that, when you connect with that sense of something wanting it to hold it there, where are you feeling that? Like, where's that string?
It's localized behind my right shoulder blade. Farther up, all the way to the tip of my shoulder.
Inviting you to bring into your mind, into your heart's mind, something very easy that makes you happy, that makes you smile. I often go for the easy stuff, the puppies and kittens, but something that makes you feel light and easy and joyful or happy. And as you have that feeling, I just want you to work with it in the heart space, just opening up the heart space, filling your heart with that. And if that's difficult, just start with something that is, make sure your face go up a little bit, right? Something
Mm-hmm.
easy, a funny joke. That's all you need to focus on, just something that makes you happy. Okay. Noticing Hmm. Hmm. There is something, a very heavy weight, actually right around the midsection, right below sort of liver, solar plexus, right below the sternum, the breastbone, and down between that and the belly button. There's this real heaviness all the way around. If you would take your hands and put them on sort of your side walls of your rib cage,
Yes.
what does that feel like for you when it's your hands? How does that feel?
Hmm. Like I'm touching a barrier between my hands and me.
Okay. There's a real lightness there as I'm picking up on you. I'm inviting you to just gently rub along that side wall as it's comfortable,
Mhm.
and then just let them rest when it feels like enough. It's a really easy caress. And we can move up the shoulders, sort of the heart space, going up and over, feeling this almost like a washing away of the energy from sort of where the clavicle maybe
Mhm.
indents in here. So taking the left hand down the right shoulder, just washing that away all the way to the end of the fingertips. Do that 3 or 4 times until the energetic sensation that's in the tips of your fingers and your palms, just until it feels clear. And maybe just shake it away, right? Let's repeat that on the other side. I feel like, and I'm doing this energetically, just massaging with the energies, clearing this gentle, almost washing sensation, a little like a nice warm cloth all the way down. Mm. Let's take a moment, feel your hands, feel them together really gently, just like with love, right? These are beautiful hands, hands that nurture, hands that caress, hands that can take time to be. There's something in this, knowing yourself, before we can come to another, really beginning to nurture yourself so gently, so tenderly, without sexuality, just a sensualness and also an innocence, right, that can come through. We can do that on the face and the neck, just connecting with the self. You said it feels like a barrier between you and yourself. These are the vessels. Sexuality is in part the vessel, in part the energy and the emotion. Hmm. I'm working the back of the neck, the vagus nerves. Feels like there's a connection there where this is what I'm sensing. There's a connection there. It's connected to
Mm.
all the systems of the body. And when everything's flowing easily, evenly, our systems are relaxed. So you spoke about feeling rushed, like this shame of being caught. And that tends to put our whole system into this very much fight or flight or freeze sort of mode. So, is there a way in that moment when you first notice that sensation, when you're having sex, right? Is there a time at which you can um, maybe this is a little bit of the earlier connection, connecting to yourself first so that you can really openly connect with the other, but then inviting, in conversation we have the sacred pause, right? We can take a few breaths before we respond, and the physicality and the energy of lovemaking is always inviting, and in fact can really nourish the experience when we can remember to pause and knowing that it's just you and the one you're with, right? Or when we're alone, that it's us. Um, when you think about, I'd like you to notice if there is a pattern that comes to mind where you feel like something kicks in, right? Where this old memory, or maybe that it was unconscious, it sounds like, until very recently.
Mhm.
But is there a moment during it where it seems like there's this same thing that kicks in and you feel like, oh, I need to hurry?
It shows up as a fear, as not that I need to hurry, but that it is going to hurry.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Let's go down into the root. I just invite you to put your hands on your thighs and just rest, just connect. Maybe you're just rubbing the tops of your legs to whatever degree feels good. It's really about connecting with the self and just having them there, really feeling your seat, feeling firm, like like I'm seeing a reed, right? So we are the outer vessel, but we're hollow. Where the music comes through, the wind blows through, the energy
Mm.
flows through, right?
Mhm.
So feeling that, there's a lot of lightness. So I'm going to work with the root, the hips, the sacral. And as you're breathing, I'm going to invite you now to breathe deep down, down to the root. We're breathing down to the perineum, down really to just bringing the breath all the way into the hip region and feeling that breathe with you. Okay, so we can slow down, we can breathe. And if it's a new sensation, if you haven't done this, you might put your hands like on your lower back or your hips so that you can actually get a sense of what it's like for your body to move with you, the fullness of what it's like when you're breathing more than just up here or even in the diaphragm, breathing the whole body, breathing with you. And why I invite you to do this is because there's so much stored in this region for most of the people I've connected with, whether it shows up there or not. There's deep, deep issues that just, they hide out there. We can let our belly drop, right? Everybody's walking around with their belly sucked up, whether they know it or not. Just let it drop, right? The sense of needing to tuck it away, hide it, being exposed. As you're breathing, what's happening with you? What's going on? What's coming up?
My face, my arms, my hands are relaxing, and I'm noticing that area. There's just a numbness there.
Okay.
The root, the hips, the lower back. Like my feet feel relaxed, the calves, even the thighs.
Now, when you raise your awareness to that spot at the mid back, notice almost like the muscular connection between that and those areas, right? Does it feel like it's been holding you? Um,
Yes, it's been overcompensating.
right. Whew. I'm going to go from the crown all the way down to the bottom of your feet now. Um, Sort of this really gentle spiraling sensation. You may notice it, you may not. It's all okay. Just notice that just gently spiraling. And you don't need to do anything other than just stay open and notice. In fact, we're going above the crown. It's beyond, right above. Okay. Yeah. All around that. Bringing in a little bit of toning. That's what's coming through. I only say that because I don't want you to be surprised. Now just return to breathing, just continuing to breathe gently, softly, as deep down, bringing the breath down. We're relaxing, we're relaxing. No need to strain. There's no effort needed in this, no exertion. When you think about, let's not use the word think, when you feel into what it would feel like, what it will feel like when you are able in an established relationship, right? You mentioned that it tends to fade away and it gets shorter and shorter. You're in an established relationship. It's loving, it's generous, it's mutual. And you can take your time. You can take your time. Notice when I say those words, if anything comes up for you, if there's any blocks or sharp sensations.
No, that's all smooth,
Nice.
relaxing, comforting, peaceful.
Beautiful. So, is there anything, I want you to take a minute, as long as you need, just integrate that feeling, allowing it to spread throughout your whole self, right? All the way out, all the way up, all the way down, just integrating. I'm going to do one thing I feel. I encourage this every time. It's taking a breath. We're going to go deep down that breath and breathe in deeply, letting your whole self, as much as you're able, expand. And then on the exhale, we're going to do this 3 times, exhaling as forcefully as you can each time until you just feel emptied, right?
Okay.
And as much as you're able. So I'll do it with you on my end, but you just have it for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So we go in. And pause, and we inhale again when you're ready. This 3rd time, if it feels like a vocal sound more than breath, if it feels like that, invite it. If it doesn't, that's beautiful too, right? But if it feels like a full body thing, don't be shy. That's all I'm saying. If it feels like a soft whisper, that's good too. Nice.
Interesting that the arms had to go out on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely something there. All right. So take a moment, check in with yourself. It's a lot to integrate. Is there anything, when you're ready, anything further that you'd like to go through in this session?
That initial tightness in the mid back, I mean, right when I started doing the hand exercise, it did start to move up and it pretty much stayed behind the shoulder blade
Mm-hmm.
and then got fainter and fainter and fainter.
Nice.
The gentle touching, starting with the hands, the shoulders, it really opened up the sensation of feeling throughout my whole body when I was able to connect with the back of my neck.
Mm.
There's definitely some part of the block is in the throat,
Mm.
part is in the sacral. and I'm not sure where else it's localized.
It's surprising sometimes where these things, the throat, right? There's a lot of breath when we're in the middle of having sex, right? There's a lot of breath moving in and out. We hold that breath,
Mhm.
Especially if there's a time where you feel like, and that speeds up all our systems.
Yeah.
And that's where if we can even pause, right, to take, like you may feel you're losing your momentum, but in fact, right, you can expand it throughout the whole self by
Mhm.
breathing in. But I felt that. I actually felt it all the way around the throat and to the back, sort of the T1, T2, the vagus nerve sort of area, felt it very much. So I encourage you to keep working with that, right?
Mhm.
That gentle touch for yourself and just getting to know yourself in a different way, in a new
Well,
way.
I felt it as soon as I did that. This is going to be a daily, probably multiple times daily exercise for me to really connect with what it means to be essentially.
Yeah, beautiful. Feel like a card for you. Just
Okay.
this one. I love this very much. It's a card. It's a botanical deck, and it's just nice and light, right?
Yeah. My happy space was the top of a hill in a park with a bunch of trees, open. It oversees the entire town. I always felt safe and connected in that place when I was by myself because I never felt it when I was around other people. So that was my happy place as a kid.
I
That
love
and the
that.
creek.
Oh yeah, yeah. I grew up stomping around in a creek from like when I was 11 and on all
So
my
fun.
teen years. Oh my goodness. But I have a place like what you just described. I call it Sunrise Hill. It doesn't actually have a name. It's just a hill in a park,
Mhm.
but I call it Sunrise Hill and I go there and I was so thrilled. A couple weeks ago, I went for my walk over there and there were a couple of people actually doing qigong on top of it. I'm like, that's my hill and how precious, how wonderful that they're doing my favorite thing.
That's awesome.
Uh, so it's like other people are catching wind of it. So yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing to ah. So what came up? Oh, this is beautiful, right? Red rose is what came up. So feels very appropriate, right?
Mhm.
Uh, hidden secrets is what it references, but red rose, the secret is that's coming through right now is it's hidden to you, perhaps, that there is a deep and poignant and beautiful lover in you, that you can love yourself with that romancing yourself. And when I say romance, I don't mean in the old notion of it, but just in that deep appreciation, taking your own breath away,
Mm.
like we do. It's inhaling the rose, right? Allowing that perfume. We are that perfume. Yeah, here it is if you want to look. So beautiful.
Beautiful.
What does it say at the bottom? I need my glasses. It's very tiny print. I can read most things, but the tiny, tiny print. Three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And it's a quote from the Buddha. So
Wow.
There's a lot in that, right? The sun, the moon, and the
Absolutely.
truth.
I've asked the questions to find the truth of these blocks, and it can't stay hidden. I mean, that's a major hope right there, to
Oh,
know that it will come to surface,
yeah.
all of it.
I love it. Thank you for opening yourself in this way.
Thank you, Andrea.
I hope the greatest gift is for you, right? Truly. Oh,
This
I
is an
want,
amazing session.
I want to,
Wow.
I want to check in with you, in a while, in a few, and see what comes of it. But so I'm going to stop recording now. I'm going to stop recording now. Thank you for showing up for yourself first and foremost.